David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Tonight is something that many politicians would look at as the luckiest day of their lives, to have the turkey shoot of the whole New Zealand First Party sitting in this House with a dumb, stupid bill that we can just take to them is the best thing that any politician could ever want to have. 5 minutes of taking New Zealand First and Winston Peters down a peg or two is what we love to see. This is the turkey shoot we've been waiting for. Look at them sitting there. And who have we got? We've got the leader himself, but we'll come back to him. We'll come back to Winston. Asanati doesn't know the difference between macro and microeconomics. Do you, Asanati? What's the difference? She doesn't know. She will not know the difference between macro and microeconomics. The difference is macro is what Richard Prosser says in your caucus. Micro
Mr Robertson, point of order.
Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Speaker, in this House, as we well know, I know some members might have been here for 5 minutes, but they have learnt one thing, even on the day of induction here, that every member is an honourable member. You can't go shouting all sorts of epithets out and calling them by their first name. This is unthinkable. Now, look, I know there's been a lowering of the standards in the last 5 years, but I'm asking you to make sure this member behaves himself and uses standing orders properly, refers to members properly, and not make a speech that is even worse than his tie.
Thank you, Mr Peters.
Now,
he made a good point.
For all those people listening, Winston Peters, the old Member of Parliament, always makes an interruption when he's losing a debate. And when he loses a debate, he does a point of order. He'll do another couple of points of order during my speech because he knows he's going to get done over like a dog in this debate. OK, Asanati, the difference between macro and micro. Macro.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Here we go now. They're all learning off their boss now, aren't they?
Order. There's a point of order on the floor. The Honourable Member, Asanati Lolly Taylor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Order.
I understand that everyone should be referred to by their full names in this House. And to be called Asanati not once or twice, but 4 times tonight is unacceptable after the Right Honourable Winston Peters has spoken about
Thank you. The member is quite right. Can I just say to the member, I know he's really hyped up. Okay, understand that. But please,
don't get this chance.
Order. I'm on my feet. The member be seated. The member will use a member's full name. It is respectful and is courtesy towards others. Call the honourable member.
Okay. Thank you, Mr Speaker. The next one is Dennis O'Rourke. Dennis O'Rourke represents the youth wing of the New Zealand First Party. Dennis O'Rourke doesn't understand that this bill is about the dollar. He still thinks we're talking about pounds and shillings, don't you, Dennis? So what's the difference, Dennis, between the dollar and pounds and shillings?
Order. Member's done it again.
O'Rourke, yes. And behind him we have Richard Prosser. Now, when Richard Prosser heard that Winston Peters was bringing in a Reserve Bank bill, he thought it was to do with the army. He thought that there was going to be compulsory conscription of all people between the age of 55 and 65. All the New Zealand First members would have to come and serve in the military. That's what Richard Prosser thought when he heard about this bill. And then there's Barbara Stewart. Now, I call her Barbs, and there's no offence.
Order.
And I'm not going to say anything about Barbs that is negative.
Order. Member be seated. The member is now trifling with the chair. Order. When I'm on my feet, or someone will walk. The member is trifling with the chair. He's been told once already that member must use the full name of the member. If he does it again, he's out. Call the honourable member.
Mr. Speaker, Barbara Stewart is a very, very solid member of New Zealand First, and I have a lot of time for Barbara Stewart, and I won't say anything other than that. But the real leader of New Zealand First isn't here. Where is Brendan Horan when you need him? Where is Brendan Horan? The man that understands what Winston Peters means to the New Zealand First Party. That man that stared him in the eye and won. All the other members of New Zealand First are sitting there loyal, diligent, supporting. I didn't talk about Andrew Williams. Andrew Williams doesn't actually want to vote for this bill. Andrew Williams is so hacked off that Tracy Martin got the deputy that he doesn't actually want to vote for this bill. Do you, Andrew Williams? You want to come on this side? I know, it's okay. It's all right. Now, the New Zealand First Party. This is the party that will keep New Zealand honest. Those are the kind of people over there that will keep New Zealand honest, and they're quiet as lambs on their boss's big day out. And isn't it so good to see the New Zealand First Party where they should be, sitting there quietly waiting for their leader's next move. The leader doesn't know what to do. But the leader... we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Keep going.
Point of order.
10 minutes.
Point of order.
Order. I know the member sat down, but no one else took the call.
No,
but I call the honourable member Ian Lees-Galloway.
No, it's a point of order, sir, and it is that the member took his seat and he should not be able to continue his call.
Speaking of the point of
Honourable
order,
member Todd McClay.
Mr. Speaker, it's clear that the member didn't sit down. He dropped his notes.
No. Now the member is striking the chair, and order. We are going to move on.
Oh, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
We're going
I've got 1 minute left.
No,
Mr.
the member's already had his call, and he has resumed his seat, and his time's run out anyway. All right.
Well, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The member hasn't called yet.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Right Honourable Winston Peters.